The final film of The Summer I Turned Pretty says goodbye. Jenny Han assures that Belly's story will end exactly how it should. The Summer I Turned Pretty is finally receiving the farewell it so richly deserves, on the big screen, following 3 seasons filled with heartbreak, complicated love triangles, and unending seaside nostalgia. Belly's emotional journey between love, sorrow, and growing up will come to a close with a feature film, according to an official confirmation from Prime Video on Wednesday. Jenny Han, the best-selling author of the adored book trilogy, is making a comeback to write and helm the film. Knowing that this next chapter will bring conclusion to one of the most talked-about romance storylines of the decade, the announcement has fans buzzing with excitement and bittersweet emotion. A farewell that reminds me of summer. The Summer I Turned Pretty wasn't your typical teen drama when it debuted in 2022. It was an emotion. The show encapsulated the spirit of maturing, including heartbreak, first crushes, and that pivotal summer. Fans began to identify with Belly Conklin, who was portrayed by the gifted Lola Tung. She was flawed, hopeful, and learning the true meaning of love. Fans will finally get to watch Belly's narrative conclude after 3 extremely successful seasons. The movie will be the final farewell, concluding years of passion, nostalgia, and discussion about one of the most well-known love triangles on television, Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah. Although the film's premise is yet unknown, Prime Video has stated that it would be the last chapter of Belly's journey. That statement alone feels like a promise and a heartbreak to those who have followed her from the start. Jenny Han comes back to complete her work. In many respects, this movie is a homecoming rather than merely a continuation. Jenny Han is the driving force behind The Summer I Turned Pretty, not merely the author. Fans are reassured by her return as both writer and director that the conclusion will embrace the cinematic beauty that only a film can provide while remaining faithful to the spirit of the novels. In a statement, Han stated, "I felt that only a movie could give it its proper due, and there is another big milestone left in Belly's journey." Fans were moved by those remarks. Han's stories have been a constant companion for many people, helping them to feel understood despite the messiness of adolescence and love. Her choice to give Belly's last moments the scope and complexity of a full-length movie seems incredibly appropriate. "I'm so thankful to the team for letting me share this final chapter with fans in the way it was meant to be experienced," Han said, further thanking Prime Video for enabling her artistic vision. Carpets, Paris, and an unexpected disclosure. The movie's revelation wasn't just posted online, it was revealed in typical TSITP fashion, complete with sparkle, emotion, and a hint of surprise. Fans and the media were taken aback when series star Lola Tung appeared on the red carpet in front of a huge banner announcing the impending movie during the Season 3 premiere event in Paris. Co-star Christopher Briney, who portrays the reserved and pensive Conrad Fisher, was standing next to her. Fans were on an emotional roller coaster when they saw Belly and Conrad together. It was equal parts grief and exhilaration. In a matter of minutes, social media exploded. Fans' feeds were overrun with tweets and TikToks expressing sentiments such as "I'm not ready to say goodbye and one last summer. I'm crying already." What was supposed to be a celebration was transformed into a worldwide emotional occasion by the announcement. From book pages to worldwide events. Few could have imagined how the story would develop into a major cultural phenomenon when Jenny Han first published her novels, The Summer I Turned Pretty. It began as a quiet year trilogy and developed into one of Prime Video's biggest hits. Every summer, the show took over social media, sparked countless fan edits, and rekindled the love triangle controversy for an entirely new generation. Lola Tung, Christopher Briney, and Gavin Kosalegno starred in the series, which expertly struck a mix between nostalgia and contemporary narrative. In addition to romance, it offered viewers a realistic glimpse of the pain of maturing, the intricacies of familial relationships, and the ephemeral allure of reminiscence. The show's emotional depth increased as it went along. By Season 3, Belly's world was about more than just picking between 2 brothers. It was about coming to terms with who she was, what she had chosen, and the true cost of love. A franchise that made headlines and won hearts. The Summer I Turned Pretty undoubtedly rose to prominence as one of the most talked-about television programs of the past few years. Every element captivated viewers, from its picture-perfect beachfront setting to its sun-soaked soundtrack, high, Taylor Swift anthems. The show lived on social media, not merely trending there. Edits, hypotheses, and never-ending arguments about which Fisher brother should win Belly's love were all over Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The conflict between Team Conrad and Team Jeremiah became a phenomenon in its own right. Difficulties accompanied that passion. The intensity of fandom occasionally went too far, as Han has disclosed in previous interviews. She eventually advised fans to act normal online after the nasty online abuse of cast members reached a breaking point. It served as a rare but essential reminder that although the plot seems authentic, the characters are still only people. The core of The Summer I Turned Pretty never wavered in the face of the cacophony. It was not about fighting, but about connection. Not fan wars, but first loves. The final chapter worth waiting for is what Prime Video promises to deliver. Courtney Valenti of Amazon MGM Studios and Vernon Sanders of Prime Video jointly released a statement in which they underscored the significance of this narrative to both themselves and the fans who have persevered. The Summer I Turned Pretty has become a worldwide sensation by evoking feelings of happiness, nostalgia, and connection in viewers everywhere, they stated. We're thrilled to work with Jenny Han once more to bring fans an incredible next chapter, and we're proud of the series' incredible success. Fans are clinging on the idea that it would be unforgettable. The Summer I Turned Pretty was never solely about summer, after all. It was about maturing and understanding that while memories endure, love doesn't always. Why a film is a perfect fit. It seems like a logical progression to wrap up the narrative with a movie. It is worthy of being shown on a large screen because of its rhythm, intensity, and sense of finality. We'll Always Have Summer, the last novel in the trilogy, was extremely emotionally charged. The novel's readers are aware of how tragic and lovely that conclusion is. If the film continues along the same trajectory, viewers should expect an honest and profoundly poignant ending. One that respects the complexity of love rather than sugarcoating it. Furthermore, because Jenny Han is directing, the movie will probably stick to the qualities that initially made the novel so remarkable: its warmth, honesty, and vulnerability. The Belly Conklin legacy. There has always been romance in Belly's story. The difficult, sad, and beautiful transition from girlhood to womanhood has been the focus. We've watched her fall in love, make mistakes, lose people she loves, and learn to forgive herself throughout the years. Lola Tung grounded Belly in emotional honesty and calm power, giving the role a unique authenticity. Millions of spectators felt less alone in their own growing pains because of her portrayal. Obvious that Belly's legacy will endure long after the show's closing credits have rolled as fans get ready to say goodbye. She serves as a reminder that although love may not always appear as we anticipate, it is always worth the chance. What the cast will do next. Even though the TSITP universe comes to an end in the film, its amazing cast is probably just getting started. It has been an incredible journey for Lola Tung to go from unknown to superstar. Gavin Cosolegno and Christopher Briney have also gained ardent fan following and fresh prospects in television and movies. What should have been a straightforward adolescent romance was transformed into something far more complex by their chemistry and poignant performances. It became a tale about bereavement, family, and the messy, lovely in-betweens of life. The end of an era and the start of a new one. The forthcoming film will bring an end to a chapter that has shaped summers for millions of people worldwide. It's the kind of conclusion that is heartwarming, lovely, and somewhat depressing, like the final sunset of a trip. Jenny Han has created a universe that serves as a reminder of what it's like to fall in love for the first time, lose loved ones, and rediscover oneself following heartbreak. She is now extending an invitation to her supporters to complete the circle. Although there isn't an official release date yet, fans will be prepared with tissues in hand, their Taylor Swift playlist in line, and their hearts open when the last film comes out. For The Summer I Turned Pretty was more than just a television program. It was a life stage.